next team who I think that we're actually going to have some fun conversation on is UCLA. They're nationally ranked at 31, fourth in the conference, 33rd.
Chip Kelly is back.
I disagree. I think that he has the hottest seat in the conference by far.
Okay. I saw signs of improvement last year.
I mean, I guess I just didn't see enough signs of improvement to make me think that they're going to be good. He's pulled pretty good recruiting classes ever since he's been there, and he's been there quite 4 years? Is this his fourth season?
Mm-hmm. Yep, entering his fourth season.
And they have not been good at all.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I don't know.
So let me lay out my case. All right,
lay out your case.
So Chip Kelly, first thing, you think offense and you think terrible defense.
Right.
Last year, defense improved dramatically. They were they were in the top half of the Pac-12 in terms of defense, while also still having the second best scoring offense in the Pac-12. So the offense is still there, defense is improving. They have probably behind Keaton Slovis at USC, the second best quarterback in the conference. I can't remember his name. He's got one of those hyphenated names. But he's really good. Trust me. I promise you that he's really good. So they went 3-4 this past year. They won 3 games, including USC. Did they end up? No, they didn't beat USC.
Oh.
But then they lost 4, but all 4 of those games were extremely close. They all were lost by 1 possession or less, or 1 possession. And I think Chip Kelly's figured it out at UCLA after his tenure in the NFL, and that was terrible. And now he's back in the Pac-12 where he belongs, out on the West Coast, doing his crazy offense. And he's finally figured out the defense. He's finally got the defense going in the right direction. And I think they're USC's main competition in the South Division this year.
Okay. I'm not that high on them. But maybe I'm wrong. I personally think that they are probably going to struggle a little bit because their second game is against LSU, and I think LSU's better than them significantly.
Well, they should be, yeah, but LSU.
And I think that LSU is probably going to try and blow the tires off UCLA. And I think that could demoralize them. And then I think there's a potential trap game in Fresno State. Not to say that I think Fresno State's going to beat them, but that's a potential trap game for me coming off a game against LSU. Even if they beat LSU, I think that Fresno State's a trap game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I personally haven't. I've watched a few games. I haven't watched a ton of games for UCLA because I'm just not a huge Pac-12 guy. But I'm also usually too drunk to pay attention to the games at this point in time. But the few games that I have watched, I haven't been impressed. And I think the 2 of them were against Cincinnati, and I really think that Chip Kelly helped Cincinnati become as good a program as they are, because the first really defining win for Luke Fickell was in Chip Kelly's first year at UCLA. And then they came to Nippert Stadium the next year hoping to get revenge and did not get revenge. And both of those games were really defining games for Cincinnati because, UCLA is a respected program. And it was a big deal. So, yeah. I mean, recruiting wise, they're doing well. And I think you could be wrong. It's just so far, I have not been convinced enough to make bets that they're going to be any better than they have been in the last 3 years.
I think you're wrong.
For your sake, I hope I am.
For my sake. All right.
You're going to
so you touched
this year.
What?
You're going to be betting on them this year.
I might.
Yeah, I know.
It's so we talked the LSU game second week. That's going to define their season. They don't have to win it to go on and do great things.
Yeah.
It's LSU is way more talented.
They need to play it close.
If they play them close and they even threaten beating them, I'm all in on the UCLA Bruins this year. They should win to a Hawaii to open the season, and then close loss or maybe even a win home to LSU. That's a cross country flight early in the season. Could be a trap game for LSU. You never know.
And it is a late game for LSU.
Yep.
8:30 p.m. That's a later game for
them. And then, like you said, at home to Fresno State. So coming out of that 2-1 with a close loss to LSU, I think they're in good shape going into conference play at Stanford, Arizona State, at Arizona, at Washington, Oregon, at Utah, Colorado, at USC, and Cal. I think they can compete with USC for that South Division title.
Okay.
So that's my prediction for UCLA. That's my big sleeper in the Pac-12 this year.
All right.